Hey everyone, Bryan Mollen here from the Irish Sevens, and you're listening to the Final Whistle.
Hello and welcome back to the Final Whistle, brought to you by the Rugby Connection podcast. Now, usually when you think of Rugby Sevens, you think of the All Blacks, Blitzbokke, Samoa, Fiji, but now in most recent times, think of the famous green jersey in Ireland. And with our next guest, he's been there basically since the start of Irish Sevens, from the Olympics to the World Cup to regular on the Seven Series. It's Bryan Mollen. Bryan, thank you so much for coming on. How are you getting on?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to come on the pod, so I appreciate you reaching out and getting me on.
Well, we're actually making history today. You are our first Irish Sevens player ever.
There you go. I'll take that. There's been a few firsts in the career, so I'll add that to the mantelpiece.
Love it. We'll send you a little certificate or a trophy.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
First question, we ask all our guests this just to get the ball rolling. What actually got you into rugby and then obviously into rugby sevens as well?
Rugby started for me actually abroad. We were living in Australia at the time, and my dad's job took us around the world as kids. And I have one older brother who's 3 years older than me, and we were in a private school in Canberra, and obviously being that school in Australia, everyone's playing rugby. So I moved out there when I was 7. And you start off playing touch rugby, and then as soon as you're 8 or under 9s, you're straight into essentially 15s rugby. It started with 12 aside, and then by the time you're under 11s, you're full pitch, scrums, lineouts, everything like that, full contact. So it was in the school. Didn't really have much of a background in it before that. Brother was playing, and instantly we just fell in love with it. So that's how rugby started. And then with that, a little bit of sevens happened kind of growing up. Every now and then you kind of get school competitions and stuff like that abroad, especially in international schools. But it only really kicked off when I left school here after went to Blackrock, and I was playing with Trinity, playing under 20s and first there. And at that stage, the sevens was very new, and they were reaching out to the AIL, as they still do, looking for players. And I got recommended to go forward to a camp, and that was back in November 2016 or something like that. And since then they've decided to keep me on for some reason. I still don't know why, but I'll keep going as long as I can.
Fair enough. I love. You've almost been doing the whole seven circuit basically since you were born, just because of your dad's job, just moving around. And
yeah, a little bit. The travel and stuff like that for some boys, it can be a bit tougher. For me, I actually enjoy it, and I don't mind it. Kind of used to it at this stage. Ever since I was a baby, we've been traveling around the world, moving every couple of years. So that aspect I love. I mean, it has to be one of the only sports, or if not the only sport, that you get to travel so much and get to see some amazing places around the world, and experience different fans in these places that make it also special as well. Bringing rugby to different places you probably wouldn't expect, and getting to showcase it is really special. So it's something I love doing, the travel, and it's something I don't take for granted anyway. It's a very special thing to do.
love that. How do you deal with like jet lag and all? I know that other players, and I now think there's like medical staff behind you that tells you how to deal with it all and all that, but how do you personally?
Yeah, so with that, we have our physio and our nutritionist and stuff like that. They give us this kind of a bit of a sleep schedule to help. So when we're traveling to certain countries in different time zones, they'll be like, on the flight, try sleep in this period, try stay awake in this period. So you're trying to match the time zone you're going to as best you can. And then once you arrive, it's a case of either trying to stay up for as long as possible, or trying to get to bed straight away, whichever way it works, depending whether you're going east or west. But it's the little things like everyone thinks about how can you get good nights of sleep. It's same things as that is. It's the simple stuff of hydration, nutrition, kind of not being on phones or screens for really late hours, because it all just affects you a little bit. And we don't have, luckily or unluckily, we don't have weeks to prepare when we go abroad, you usually only have about 5 or 6 days before you have to play. So it's got to be a quick turnaround. So the biggest thing for us is once we jump on that plane, is trying to match that time zone abroad and getting a bit of sleep on that. And then once you're landing, just to focus that first day on getting sleep to match their window. And then once a day or two is gone, you're usually on the right path anyway, and the early mornings are gone.
Fair enough. Does that always work though, or has there been times?
It doesn't always work. No, I'm trying to think recently, was there any bad ones? You just get it sometimes where you just can't sleep in. So I think there when we were recently in Vancouver, in LA, we were in LA first, and yeah, you're just every day you're waking up at 6 a.m., which isn't ideal, but I mean, you're still getting the 8-9 hours that you need because you're just going to bed earlier, but it's just tougher. Ideally, you like staying up a bit later and waking up when you have to wake up rather than an hour before your alarm. But I mean, it's manageable once you feel like you're getting good night's sleep and not being woken up a few times during the night and all that kind of stuff. That it's pretty manageable. So we're all fine then, and we're well used to it by now as well. A lot of us, so it's pretty easy going.
Fair enough. I mean, you seem to have absolutely crushed it.
I don't know that, but I keep doing what I'm doing for now anyway.
You mentioned going around to different places in the world and bringing rugby to new places. Now, it was just announced that Spain is getting brought in for the next year's World season. If you could take sevens one place that it's not already, where would you like to take it, and why?
Jeez. I'm trying to think where are all our legs. We're kind of pretty good around the world, everywhere. Probably somewhere where it isn't, which would be really cool. We've been there once before for a an invitational tournament. South America, whether you put it in Argentina or upcoming Uruguay or Chile. They're just as passionate with their rugby, probably not in the same numbers as their football and all that, but with their team going really well, they have some great stadiums, and the culture down there is very cool. So bringing it down there might be somewhere very special. Trying to think, we have Africa ticked, Oceania. We're pretty spread out across the world other than that. So probably the one place we probably haven't been on the World Series is probably South America. So I'd say that.
Fair enough. Not an Ireland sevens, maybe at the Aviva.
That would be. I was thinking of where we're not, and obviously we have a couple in Europe at the moment. Ireland would be, I think, one of the best places to bring a sevens tournament if you could. There's so many different venues you could stick it in. With the way Irish rugby's going at the moment, I think you'd sell it out in a heartbeat. The atmosphere around it, for whether it's 2 days, 3 days, would be incredible. The pubs, I guaranteed, would be filled. It'd be an incredible party. And there is talk to try get that. It's hard. It is tough, and it requires obviously a lot of preparation, organization to do it. But if we could even start with something small, like one of the Rugby Europe tournaments, bring that to Ireland, see how it goes, and then from there progress further, it'd be great. It'd be great to put it RDS in the Aviva, even in one of the other provinces, stick it in Limerick or Galway or up north in the Kingspan. I don't think you have a shortage of stadiums at all. So I think it'd be well suited for it. So we're just, hopefully it happens before a lot of us old boys finish and we get to play one at home, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Never say never.
Exactly. Never say never.
Just bringing it all back, because you have essentially been with Ireland Seven since they became a mainstay on the world circuit. How does it? I'm trying to think how to word it. Just talk to us about like the rise of Ireland Sevens.
Yeah. So I joined probably about a year after, or it kind of first got, first initial trial program was put in place. And yeah, there's been plenty of highs and lows along the way. A lot more highs, let's say, than some lows, but we've had it. It's just constantly risen. It took us, I guess, a bit to find our feet, especially when you come up against the countries that have been playing it for so long. You think it is a sport that you can just kind of go out and play a little bit. But when you do that, you do get found out pretty quickly by these teams that have the experience. So over the years, I guess there's been a core group of us that've been around the longest that have kind of live with that experience, and we're just trying to bring younger guys with us. This country has so much talent when it comes to rugby. I mean, you see it at the moment with the 20s and the senior team. 20s with back-to-back Six Nations Grand Slams, and I think the year before that they probably would have been contention for it as well. All this talent coming out of schools, it's just another pathway. We're trying to show it towards all these people that how special it can be to go to travel around the world and play in front of 30,000 people in a stadium on the world stage. It's almost as special as maybe being in the Leinster setup and playing in the URC somewhere. It's just giving different people different opportunities, and it has taken a long while to grow. It is seen as that development pathway for the 15s still, which you can understand with certain players having developed through, and now you see them on the senior team. But with us reaching the Olympics, I think that was a huge milestone that created a lot of media attention for the game and kind of made people talk about it a good bit more. And now with the next Olympics coming around with us in potential qualification, and the women's sevens also doing really well, and they're in potential qualification spots, it just forces people to look at it. And that's all we can ask. There's nothing more we can do except perform at these events consistently, and that puts eyeballs on us, and that hopefully just grow the game. And the more and more we grow it internationally, we'll hopefully try grow it more and more at home.
No, I agree with that. Just what's more special to you, being an Olympian or the Rugby Sevens World Cup in Cape Town?
Oh, I'd probably say what's more special to me is being Olympian. It's such a select number of athletes, and you think of how long the Olympic Games has even been around. I'm not sure when the first one was, but I don't know, it was a long time ago anyway. And the amount of athletes, and being the first Irish rugby team to go to it, and being one of the 13 to play in it. It's a big first, and I know the World Cup was a first as well, winning a bronze. But the Olympics as a worldwide sporting event, it has a bit more of a pull and a bit more of a name to it, and that makes it that little bit more special. But that World Cup and coming home with a medal they're touch and go, those two highlights, and for very different reasons. The Olympics more being a part of it, and unfortunately our results weren't great, but the World Cup definitely results wise, and what we managed to achieve, upsetting the favourites at home, that has some really big highlights in it. Yeah.
No, I mean, you have been fantastic, and you just seem to be getting better and better. My co-host Harv, I don't know if this comes across harsh, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit as well. He's asked, well, will Ireland win an event this year? But I'm going to add to it, if you could pick one event to win, what would it be?
Will we win an event? I back us to win an event, yeah, 100%. We have the talent, we have the ability, we have the capability to do it. We've come close now twice, reaching finals, and once last year in Toulouse, getting beaten by Fiji, and then South Africa in Dubai, losing out to them again, and we're right there, and I back us to do it any tournament. I don't think it has to be one particular one. Yeah, you can say if you get maybe a slightly better group or something like that, and you have a favourable draw, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to beat the top teams, and it's so competitive that we just back ourselves to do it. And it's tough to win 6 games on the series at the moment. You're not seeing really any team being able to do it consistently. But yeah, 100% back. We've got 4 tournaments left this year. If I was to pick one, I would pick 2 to do it. Hong Kong being I guess the pinnacle of sevens, and them hopefully having full capacity again for the first time since before COVID anyway. That'd be very good. And then one of my favorite tournaments is London. I mean, if you can go across the water and win there, I mean, what's more special than the Irish winning in England? So,
I'd say Scotland won in England, but that's more 15s and 7s.
yeah. Well, they won it back in. When did they won their? They won in London sevens.
We went back to back in London for some strange reason. We didn't turn up.
It's something about being in this one of these. I guess the 4 countries around British Isles in a way that. I guess if anyone can win in anyone's backyard, it's pretty special. So you go with the arch nemesis England. If you can beat them at home or win a tournament in their backyard, then it's at the home of rugby. That would definitely be a special one as well. But
fair enough. I mean, I can't even brag about it now because they're all merged. It's Team GB now. So.
Yeah, it is. And look, they I guess there's pros and cons to it. You can see why it happened, which is such a shame as well that you've lost 3 teams who are all, they have their individual identity and forced them all to come together. But it's brought a bit of strength to them, and it matches the Olympics setup, which they have to come together every 4 years anyway. So it's
makes sense.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, I think we've spoken to a good few of the lads, and they accepted it, but they're not always the happiest either.
No, I think we had one on, and at the time it just came out, so they were like, well, like one country of the home nation, I'm not naming names, but like one said, no, we want to keep our 7s.
Yeah.
The other 2 went, no, that's cool, we could all come together.
Yes, and that's right. And I mean, if you'd gone back over the years and put it at different stages and said, oh, we'll come together GB, and probably would have flipped because different countries were doing better or worse at different times. And I mean, when you're doing well as your individual country, you don't want anything to change.
Of course.
That's the way it goes. But it's at least they're still involved with the series, and everything got sorted then. So it's good.
I ask all our 7s players this. Have you or will you ever play at the Melrose Sevens? Obviously, the home of 7s rugby.
I've never played. I'd love to play. Why not? I'll play anywhere. That might be something on the cards once the Irish jersey's hung up, and go do a little bit of touring with the 7s or different 7s teams and go play different places. See who wants me at that stage. I might be a bit too broken to run around, but we'll wait and see.
You can even do it on the social aspect of it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I can coach, team manager, run water, whatever you want.
run water.
Yeah, exactly. Exchange water for beer, and then everyone's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm already signed up. I'm not great. I'm not built for 7s, but I'll be on that team. If you could draft anyone in the 15 side of rugby into 7s, you could pick them for Ireland. Who would it be and why?
Anyone in the 15s game. I'll have to pick 2. One's a little bit cheating because I know he's played before, and he's very consistent in his 15s game at the moment. Probably stand out. Well, he was voted in that Guinness Six Nations Player of the Tournament, Hugo Keenan.
Okay, yeah,
he's just rock solid, and I've played with him, and I know what he's able to do, and the lad just doesn't make mistakes. He'll go for 14 minutes, no problem. So he's top quality. And then maybe someone else who'd, I guess, maybe offer a bit of difference. I don't know how long he'd last in the 7s pitch, but James Lowe, the ability to break a one-on-one tackle. I think you give him a ball on the edge, I think he'd cause a lot of damage. Yeah. That's just Irish players, but I guess it's very hard to look past Dupont. I mean, I think he could fit into any sport and any team, and he'd probably do a job. So if he fancies pulling on an Irish jersey at some stage, I don't think we'd say no. It's tough when you think about it. All these extremely talented 15s players, you never really know where they play on a 7s pitch either, because the game's a bit different and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. You're thinking backs, but I mean, you could pick a whole host of forwards as well. You'd be able to do an incredible job. I know Ireland names are stuck in my head because of the Grand Slam and everything, but Dan Sheehan, I think, would be an absolute wrecking ball on a sevens pitch, and he'd be incredible. I think you give him the ball in a bit of open space and try to stop him one-on-one. I don't think many people are doing it. So
yeah, that's fair.
Didn't really answer your question, but there's a few names there.
I mean, you missed one, and it's just, I kind of just have to mention him just because he has a good friend of the show. It's Matt Hansen. You had the back three.
That was the other one. I was gonna literally list all three, the Irish back three, and I was like, I can't do that because how biased does that seem? But yeah, and I know he's definitely played a bit of sevens in his childhood growing up back in Oz. So he'd be someone that'd be well suited to the game as well. We'll just pick all three, and we'll do 4 Irish. We'll stick the 3 at the back 3 and stick Dan Sheehan as well. And if Dupont fancies an Irish jersey, we'll take them all. There we go.
Yeah, he's got an Irish granny, so good.
Yeah, they're grand. We'll figure out a way of getting them.
So what position would you play if it was 15s? Where's your position in 15s?
I kind of moved around the back line a lot growing up. Started in towards, I think it started at 10, which, geez, that was back when I was a lot skinnier and a lot smaller. Don't think I'd be too suited for 10 anymore. I played on the wing when I moved to Blackrock for when I was in the senior cup squad and with Trinity, but I prefer most being, whether it's in the centres or at fullback. I'd probably say I'm a bit bigger than what I was a few years ago, so I'd probably stick me in at 12 and try crash ball rather than try run around people. But I think if I was to go back, it'd be somewhere in there, yeah, in the centres or at fullback. Bit of running rugby, but not too much.
Fair enough, I like that. Cam, another one of my co-hosts, has asked, where is your favourite World Series venue?
That's a good one. Like I already mentioned, I really enjoy London. I'm a big fan of it. There's something about playing in Twickenham that is just so special. It's the home of rugby, and we've fortunately have some good results there as well. So I don't know if that makes it better. Staying in London city centre as well is unbelievable. You kind of got everything around you. The hotel's usually near Kensington, so I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better location. On top of that, I haven't played in a World Series Hong Kong full event yet. The last time we played in Hong Kong was the lads played in October there this year, but before that we played on the qualification tournament back in 2019. But Hong Kong full capacity, where sevens they say kicked off a little bit on the World Series. That is super special. There's nothing like the fans there. So seeing that South Terrace full at 8:30 in the morning with fancy dress and people already drunk. I don't know how they get drunk that fast, but they make a lot of noise, and that one's really, really cool. So I'd probably pick between those two, Hong Kong or London.
Fair enough. Is it Hong Kong where it's like it's the side stands that are massive and there's like nothing behind the goals? Have I made that up?
There's a smaller stand behind the goals. There's one side that's slightly bigger than the other one, and that smaller side behind the far side of the goals is called the South Stand.
Okay.
And that's the main party stand. But the place, I mean, my family did it that same year, and my brother was adamant to get in there with his fancy dress, and they queued from 7:30. And so there's no game till 9:30 in the day, but the stand is jammers by 8:30, 9 o'clock. You can't get any more people in. There's no rugby even started yet, and there's people having a party. There's just music playing, and they're having a great time. So, yeah, that's that far smaller side. You're right, though. There is 2 really tall ones on each side, and then slightly smaller at each end.
Fair enough. Actually, I wasn't making it up. I just didn't know if it was in Hong Kong or not. So I was like, best ask.
Yeah.
If you were attending a sevens event on the socials, what are you dressing up as? You have to dress up.
Trying to think what I remember seeing.
The avocado seems to be quite popular.
As simple as it is, it probably wouldn't be my decision, but I'm a huge fan of the Budgie Smugglers. So I could just be as simple as just being in a pair of budgie smugglers in the sun.
Fair enough. Yeah, that would work.
I'm trying to think if I was a bit more of it was something that just came to me there, and I don't know why it's popped into my head, but dressing up as like the Flintstones.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I like that.
I've never thought of the Flintstones. I don't think I've even seen them at the Sevens, but I don't know why that's popped into my head, but I'll just go with it.
Yeah, I like that. Final question, just before we go into something a little bit different. Oh no, sorry, but that was a fan question as well. Jay Mulvin has asked, what is it like playing with the GOAT, Andrew Conroy? Jordan Conroy, sorry.
He is, first of all, he's an incredible talent. I mean, his finishing ability, his raw speed, his footwork, the way he's improved his game over the years as well is exceptional. I mean, he came in originally struggling with a lot of handling, and it's taken a long while to work it up, and now you'd back him to throw any pass the same as anyone. It's easy when you have someone with that pace and the ball's been in play for about a minute and you give him a bit of an overlap and you just chuck in the ball and you'd be like, will you please go run the length? And scores. And I mean, it gives you a bit of an extra breather. But I think what makes Jordo special is just his personality. He's an absolute character and he's great to have around the squad. He likes his own things as well. He likes to stick to himself at times, but when he comes out of his shell, though, he's just him, and we love having him. He's just one piece in a big puzzle, but he's a special piece in that puzzle. So no, he's class. He's world class. So hopefully he doesn't stop anytime soon. We can just keep feeding the ball and keep seeing him running for some great tries.
Yeah, I agree with that. What is your dream Sevens team? You could pick past and present. You don't even have to have played with them. Just anyone.
Jeez, ever. Past and present. Give me a more present, I reckon. If I could go, see if I can do it without being biased. I'd probably have Dan Norden.
Yeah.
Trying to think who would I probably put in the centers. I'd probably go with a present guy. I think he's world class. Joe Weber, a Kiwi bloke. Yeah. I'm trying to, who would I put one in? I'll come back to 10. At 9, Jerry Tuai.
Yeah, of course.
Special player. In the forwards, one would be Sam Dixon. He's just as tough as nails. He's incredible. Jesus, getting tough.
You can pick yourself.
No, not in the dream team, not a chance. Sam Dixon. I picked Maliko from Samoa at the moment. He's world class. This is very current players rather than old players, but probably have to stick in Serevi in there somewhere. I don't know where he plays, but I'll figure out a spot for that afterwards. And what am I missing? One more person.
I think you're missing a 10 as well. I think you said you would go back to 10.
I'll stick Serevi in the back somewhere. Don't know where I'll fit him. I'll stick Joe Weber at 10. Serevi can go in the centre.
Fair enough.
Forward. Trying to think. Who? I'll go with another Kiwi, Scott Curry.
Oh, classic friend of the show, Scott Curry as well. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. I mean, I'm probably a bit biased there. Guys who've embarrassed me plenty of times on a rugby pitch, but yeah. I mean, there's so many to pick from. It's hard picking probably 100 people and try and fit them into 7. But yeah, I'll go with that anyway.
No, it's a great team. I don't even think it's that biased. I think it's quite evened out.
I think they do pretty well as well if they stuck them all on a pitch together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised you didn't pick yourself.
No, I can't. I'm not. I need a lot more tournaments, a lot more experience, to even put myself even close to that.
You're going to get your 100th very soon.
Oh, coming up to 100 games, not 100 tournaments, but
I was actually just about to ask that. Is there a big difference between like, so do they count? Obviously, there's like say 3 games, just on average 3 games a weekend. Does that count as three caps, or is it
No,
one tournament
so
per cap?
a tournament's a cap,
Okay,
and then however many games you get on the pitch for that tournament, that's how many. So it's usually 5 or 6 per tournament that you get matches for. Essentially, that's
okay.
rugby stats. That's the way they do it. Obviously, we mainly look at, well, you look at tournament appearances. I know there's different ways of looking at it. I couldn't actually tell you what I'm on, but it's not that many anyway. Don't worry about it. It's low numbers.
98 games or matches played
Yeah,
for
around
Ireland?
that for on the series. Yeah, so there's a few boys. There's a good crew of us around that number. A few boys past the 100 mark this season, which is pretty special. I think Mark Roach is the first one to do it, followed by a few other lads. So that's kind of the guys who've been around the setup for a number of years now and been at most tournaments. It's taken a while to get there, and obviously it's low numbers compared to a lot of other teams and individuals who've been around for a long time. But it's for Irish rugby, it's pretty special. So all those boys are well deserved of reaching 100 games, and hopefully they keep going towards that 200 mark.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just glad we've got that out of the way, because I always read like, oh, somebody's played like 100 times in the sevens. I'm like, it's not hard. There's 5 games a week. Like, that's not. But you've just explained that one cap is a tournament, not a game. So
yeah. So at the moment, the record for number of caps is Revol, Argentinian, who's just reached. I don't know. It's either he's just played his 95th or just played his 96th tournament. And you think, I mean, the max you can get is on the series is 10 tournaments a year. So 10 caps. So he's been playing for 9+ years essentially. And that means also being at every single tournament and playing. It's never been injured. So I think there's a few people in that 90 category at the moment. All guys who've been playing for years and years. Incredibly impressive. It's the longevity of that. It's very tough to do. So it's so commendable, and it's really, really impressive. Stands out.
No, I agree. It was just the way I had to get that out of the way there, because then it was like 100 caps, and obviously just before you explained that, I'm like, that's like one really good year that you could get 100 caps. That's not. Yeah. So we're all good there.
Yeah.
We're going to get to know all about you as a person now. So it's not really rugby related at all. It's just a bit of fun.
Okay.
Favorite song or music genre?
Oh, for music genre. At the moment, it's actually probably country.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, for some reason, always playing it. A lot of favorites, like Morgan Mollen, Zach Bryan. Yeah, just constantly playing on Spotify whenever I'm drawing. I don't know, it's something about the slow tempo, the lyrics. Yeah, big fan of that. So I'll go country.
I think country is just a thing about anything though. Like some songs you hear, I'm like, yeah.
It's actually mind-boggling how they make songs about everything. And it's just, they just have, whether it's just your man playing with a guitar, man or woman playing with guitar and just singing about something, whether they see or something they thought up in their head, or it's they really do test the limits of what songs are about.
4-minute song on a tire, on a puncture. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but it works somehow. I don't know how, but it works.
Favorite food cuisine, like style of food?
Oh, I'm a sucker for Italian.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's your go-to dish then?
Oh, my favorite. My favorite meal is actually spaghetti bolognese. A lot of the lads in the team have started calling me spaghetti Molyneux.
I like that.
Which I guess I'll have to just live with. But yeah, that's my. I enjoy cooking it as well as eating it out. I probably don't eat it out very often. Probably go for something else because I know I'll make it at home. I do love a pizza though. I mean, who doesn't love a pizza really? Well, I know a lot of people who don't like pizzas, but I'm certainly not one of them.
So what's your favorite pizza topping then?
Pepperoni.
Good. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
It does, yeah.
No, Brian,
Yeah.
you were doing well there until that. No,
That's it. It's done. I'm
That's
off.
done.
This is never being aired again. No, it's not coming out.
It's just want to keep in just because it's it's a simple one, like yes or no, but it always rubs somebody the wrong way.
Yeah. I've just had it a good few times and I know I like it. That's why I'd say that.
Fair enough.
I do understand the argument though, and I know where people come from who say no, because it is a case of it is. I guess the texture, taste of it is completely opposite to what you're getting on the rest of the pizza. So I get that, but for some reason, I think it does work.
Okay, I've got one for you. I know you're not from that part of the world, but you did live there. Do you put pineapple on your burgers?
I'm gonna. There's interesting. I have done it, and it's really good, but I don't do it. It's very, very rare. There's a place, Gourmet Burger Kitchen in Dublin. Oh no, sorry, it's Counter. It's not Gourmet. Counter is a restaurant in Dublin, and there you can get pineapple on the pizza, grilled pineapple, or on your. Why am I saying pizza? On your burger, grilled pineapple on your burger, and it's actually very nice. But I never have it, if that makes sense.
You would, yeah.
I'm not doing it at home. I'm making homemade burgers on the barbecue. I'm not doing it.
Right, but if you're out, you might.
Yes, potentially. Very rarely.
Okay. I
mean, it's not on offer very often.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Doesn't really answer your question. I'm going to go with no. I'm actually going to change my answer and go with no.
Sure?
Yeah, 100%. Edit out all the rest there. Didn't happen. No.
That's okay. So what's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? Because you gotta go around the world. There's obviously different delicacies, shall we say?
Kangaroo tail.
Kangaroo tail.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's that taste like?
Kind of as you'd expect. It's kind of like not as you.
What does that mean?
You can't say that when you haven't had it. I guess it's like a tender meat. Yeah. Kind of a hard, chewy, kind of like I guess you kind of put it as like an overcooked steak.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm with you.
A bit tough, a bit chewy. That kind of.
So, you've just won a big tournament. You and the boys are out in the town. What are you drinking?
Oh, where in the world am I?
I don't know. Anywhere you. I've always had to change. I've had to change the wording of this question because it used to be post-match drink. Now, players that are like PR trained would say protein shake, Powerade, water, stuff like that. I don't need that. I want to know like what beers, what spirits are you on?
If I'm in Ireland, well, if it happens one day and I'm in Ireland, I mean, you can't really beat a pint of Guinness at home. Anywhere else, I prefer. I'd say like my dad's Dutch, so I can't not mention Heineken. But if I'm off the beer and I'm on the spirits, it's either vodka 7-Up or vodka soda lime.
Okay, yeah. See, perfect answers.
Yeah,
love that.
At that stage, it's too late for protein shakes anyway. Like.
Exactly, yeah. But there is times I've went like to guess favorite post-match drink, and they go, "Oh, chocolate protein shake." That's so not what I meant. That is not even close to what I was meaning.
Not when you won something big, you're not having that. I guarantee you.
Exactly. Favorite film.
I think I've been asked this question a good few times, and I keep changing my answer. Oh,
you can do top 3 or top 5 if you want, if it's easier.
No, I actually go with one, and I don't know why. Yet again, I don't know why these things pop into my head, but The Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith.
Okay, is that the one where about getting his little boy? I think.
Yeah, he has his little son, and separated, and he's kind of in the hunt for his dream job.
Ah, fair enough. So, if there was a film based off your career, who's playing Bryan Mollen in the film?
Oh, Oh, based on my career. I'd like to say I'd need a bit of comedy in it, but I'm not. I wouldn't count myself as a funny person, so I'd go Ryan Reynolds, but I don't think that would work. I might just go Matt Damon. He has a bit of experience with rugby, so I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, that's both great answers. I like that. Do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have one.
Is it the Olympic rings?
Yes.
Ah, see, I'm too good at this.
Yeah. I got it done when we came home. It's on my ribs. Just black.
Yeah.
Got the 5 rings done. I will get. I like it, and I've been wanting to get other tattoos for a while. I never committed to it, and I guess as soon as that happened, I was just like, right, well, that'll start it. Yeah, but I definitely will get more. Yet to be confirmed what they will be, though.
I was just about to ask what you got planned, but I'm not sure.
I always wanted to get some writing on my ribs, but the Olympic rings has kind of taken that now, so I had to change that.
Other side.
Could be the other side, yeah. That's potentially still in the cards. Something on my ankle or on my foot, I think, would probably be next.
Yeah, fair enough. Kind of keep it all covered.
I don't mind that. I was just kind of a few guys on the team got in different places. I don't know. I just kind of I really like it being on the ribs. I don't know what it was. It was the only place that stood out for me. Some of the boys have it on their bicep. Biceps aren't big enough to show that off. Forearm, things like that. But yeah, no, the ribs it was automatically the only place I was going. Yeah, just stuck with me.
No, it works. Now, you've been lucky enough to travel around the world. If you're getting 2 weeks holiday, where would you like to go?
I think by 2 weeks holiday, one of the only places I haven't really been or explored, Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, that kind of travel around there for 2 weeks. I think that would be right up there.
Sounds quite nice. So what is your dream car?
My dream car. My brother might kill me if I don't answer with an Audi. He works for Audi, so but any car. Jeez, what am I picking?
Money's no option. Money's no
option. Just out of pure class, I'd essentially say Rolls Royce.
Oh,
just to cruise around it.
Yeah,
we're not trying to need for speed this or anything. We're just cruising around in a Rolls Royce. I think that probably a bit flashy, but it's probably a dream that never happened. But that's for cruising. If I was to pick a race, I'd probably simple as I can't look past the Ferrari. I was just going to go for a bit of speed.
Yeah.
Now, which Ferrari? I don't know. I'm not too into my cars, but I'll take any Ferrari if it's going. If anyone wants to hand out a Ferrari, I mean,
there you go. Weird partnership there, Irish Sevens and Ferrari, but yeah, go for it.
We can make it work. We can find a way. Don't worry, I'll find a way of making it work somehow.
I love that. One thing you hate doing, but you have to do it.
Yeah. One thing I hate doing, but I have to do.
Most people say like do the dishes or.
Yeah, I was going to say clean the house. I don't do it that often, so it doesn't really bother me. I say. I guess it would be tidying up. Yeah, I'm just looking around the house there. It's not too tidy at the moment. I'd probably put it off for a few days.
That's fair.
A weird one. I hate doing food shopping.
Oh, I hate. Thank you. I detest it. I absolutely hate it.
I love cooking, but I hate food shopping, which makes it really awkward.
I will happily go shopping, like for trainers, for clothes, anything like that. I don't mind doing that. Do not take me to a supermarket. I hate it.
I can go in, I'll have a list, go in, get all stuff, but you always see something you're and on about, and you're just like, oh, and you always forget something as well. That's what I hate the most. No matter what, you'll come back to your house and there'll be something you've forgotten that you need, and it just ruins.
It's always the one. It's always the one that you go for the sole purpose of going for.
Exactly. Yeah. You think you never have to write it down because you'll always remember it, and then you're in there, you don't remember it all.
Right, we've got guests coming in. We need to get like, I don't know, like meal platters. And you get your cereal, your fruit, your veg, no meal platters.
Yeah. Food shopping, 100%.
I'm going to switch up then. One thing you love to do, but you don't get to do it often.
One thing I love doing, but I haven't done recently very often. I'm usually very good at play golf.
Okay, yeah.
Huge fan of it. I just haven't. I guess it's winter. It has been winter, but I haven't done that at all in the last 6 months. I guess to go with that as well, it's just play other sports. I grew up playing everything, and ever since the kind of rugby became more serious, you miss out on everything.
No, I get that. I know that there's a lot of ones that you're not allowed to do because of rugby. Like I know skiing's a big.
Yeah. So that's been. I cannot wait to the day I stop, and I will 100% be going skiing as my first holiday.
There you go.
I started skiing when I was, I think, 4. Did it every year since then, and just then once the rugby became too serious, you kind of had to stop. And it's just like it's been itching me, especially it wasn't too bad during COVID when no one was going. Now everyone's back going, and during winter there, seeing people on the slopes, it was tough to take.
I bet it was. What is your current, or what is your recommendation to binge watch on Netflix?
Oh, without a doubt, Yellowstone.
Okay.
Myself and the missus are watching it. It is unbelievable.
Fair enough.
Cowboy show, class.
And I have got to say, I've just not started watching it yet.
It's very good. That's all I can say. It's just very good.
Final question for you today. One thing you'd like to be remembered for? Doesn't have to just be rugby. It could be in life. I
guess just being a friendly, approachable person. Who's like that, whether that's on and off the pitch. I don't mind anyone could come up to and have a chat with.
No, I could vouch for that. You're very approachable. It was very easy getting you on the show. It came around really quickly as well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, but I was just kind of why not doing anything else. So
I love that. We'll take every opportunity at that. So, but the book is now closed, and you've absolutely crushed it, Bryan. I cannot thank you enough for agreeing to come on, and hopefully we get that Hong Kong Sevens win for you, or Twickenham, because we love winning and we all love beating Twickenham.
Exactly. I mean, it's one you'll always take if you can take it. But look, we'll take anywhere that first win if it comes, and hopefully it does in one of these next 4, if not multiple of the next 4, and see what we can do and finish off the season strong. Just
for our viewers, what is the last 4? Obviously Hong Kong.
So we're going to so you got Hong Kong. My dates are all over the place. So Hong Kong in 2 weeks, and then that follows up with Singapore, and then to round off the season, we end up in Toulouse and London.
There you go. Happy days. Let's go for 4-4-4. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we back ourselves to do it, so why not?
Exactly. You always back the team. You always back the boys. I love that.
100%.
Well, this has been the final whistle with Bryan Mollen, and we'll see you next time.